Hi everybody, welcome to the QB School. I am JT O'Sullivan. Today, Sam Howell, part 6, fired up. Let's dive into it. Welcome to the QB School. Sam Howell, part 6. Let's get it going. Right off the bat, a little rail up top. Now, a lot going on here, pass protection check, but for me, you got to make this throw. This got a chance to be a touchdown. Running versus a linebacker. Just a little underthrown, maybe nice play by the defender, but my goodness, this thing's got a chance to be a touchdown. Look at the 5-0 check here from the center. You're welcome, universal football. Now, quarterback-wise, again, not being in the room, not knowing exactly how they teach it, not being a massive fan of the footwork associated with this type of offense usually. To me, he's just drifting here. This falls into, the risk of hurting some feelings. Some air raid-ish football as far as just a little sloppy, unprecise with the footwork that leads to this type of throw. So just watch the fall away here. And this is really, to me, an opportunity for a big play up top, trying to get some sort of rail pick, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to pretend to be certified here, but this ball needs to be thrown for a chance for a touchdown running down the sideline with a linebacker type who's covering you from the line of scrimmage right here over the center. You've got to be able to hook this thing up. Now, is it perfect pass protection in front of your face? No, but you can make this throw. So first, let's watch the route. See 52 running from over the center? This is a gimme. The rub doesn't even rub anybody, but he goes underneath it, so you got to go down the field. Now, the footwork. So I personally love the back out to the left. This is like a tweener to me, but he hits the back right here. Just let it go from right there. Great base, great footwork, lined up. Let it go instead of falling away. This little, this is to me what sloppy is. Just unnecessary, going backwards, jacks the precision of the timing. You miss the throw, you leave it short, hit the front of the rim, and it's like taking a fadeaway at the rec when no one's guarding you. Just set your feet, give a good throw, be consistent, and you can make that throw all the time. Can't leave touchdowns out there like that. That's a bummer. But there are a number of really, really good throws in this game. Right here, we're faking the reverse, hitting the over, coming from top to bottom, ripping it in there. Now, there's a lot going on here on this play just because of what the receiver at the bottom of the screen does. He thinks he's getting a corner blitz, ends up running like a corner cobra cat adjustment, and it kind of muddies the waters. But this is a great throw, ripping it into a throw that you will see you have to make on Sundays all the time. So first thing here, just as far as understanding the concept, where the ball ends up going. Everybody is running these overs, like the new mesh, okay? Usually paired with a post. What happens here at the bottom of the screen is he runs a corner cat adjustment, or so that corner pressure adjustment. So whether he's the run force or pressure, like a true blitz, like a cat or a cobra, whatever the term you want to call a corner blitz is, he's the run force defender. This receiver feels it. In most good offenses, this is certainly a good offense, they will run like a kick wide where you just kind of get width and allow the quarterback to have an outlet for that throw, because normally they're not going to be blocked in very many run schemes or pass protection. So you just have an outlet for that 4-week corner blitz. But when you do that, and technically, unrace this thing, he's not blitzing. He's just a run force here, it looks like. So when he does this, he skips off. Now it muddies what is normally this post clear. So this post is usually great versus quarters, not great versus middle field close usually. But when you slow the clear, when you slow this post, so he goes here, and then he's like, uh-oh, I got to get into my route. It just muddies this over and makes this throw harder than it has to be. So that's the thing about it when we're evaluating the quarterback. This throw is harder than it has to be, and it's still a great throw. Watch the bottom of the screen. So see how he gets width coming off that? Now he's like, uh-oh, I got to go. So now that window is closer. Now he stops in the hole too. Again, not certified, but not what I'm trying to do. But that throw, I'm all about it. Ripping it, protecting him, putting it away from that safety hit. Just a great job here. And this is not easy to do playing quarterback. Turning your back like this, finding the over, ripping it on time. And again, to me, that's not a throw behind him. That's a throw intentionally there to take that hit off, to not run him into a collision, to know where that window is. You're throwing to the window of it. Really nice. Love it. Lots to like there. Lots of nuance going on as far as what's going on with the other routes as well. This is a great design. Bottom of the screen. A little double post with a wheel, pseudo wheel, beautiful throw. Just throw, showing outstanding touch. Great design here too, as many shots as I'm going to take at the cert peeps. I'll recognize some game when I see it here. This is a beautiful little rub route to be able to get this guy versus middle field close. Versus everyone's all world safety out there. Got no chance to go make that play. So design wise here, what am I talking about? A little double post at the bottom, and who knows what this is supposed to be, but in essence, it's this. And he does a great job of getting into this guy who technically, man-to-man here, man-to-man, man-to-man, easy to see. So when this guy comes up, whether he's running a post, over, basic, in, whatever, he gets up and accidentally on purpose gets in this guy's way as he gets on his path. It creates just this huge, it's not even really a true wheel. He just comes out here and runs almost like an inside fade. And really the only guy who's going to make this play is right here. And he's pretty good, but he's not good enough for this. This is just a great throw. I love the touch. Little Russell Wilson-esque here as far as dropping it out of a helicopter, out of the rafters. Right on the path, right? Like that is right on his path. Right over the shoulder. Beautiful. Thing of beauty. There are some really impressive throws in his catalog of throws, especially outside the numbers. And this is one of them right here, to be able to have this kind of touch. Someone bearing down on you, no hitch, no reset. Outside the numbers, pushing it down the field. Love to see it. Another big time throw. This time up top, outside the numbers. Now, it can be a big time throw, and there can still be things that we can work on and get better. The first thing that I'm going to love to see jump off the film is the anticipation. This is an anticipation throw outside the numbers down the field. Now, is the throw perfect? No. Is it good enough? Yes. So what am I talking about here? I'm talking about this right here, whether it's a little hinge or an out, we're going to throw this thing with anticipation. So we're going to get back here, take our drop, and let that thing rip before he gets out of the break at the top. So we're going to let it go here and then throw him into this space. Now, is the throw perfect? No, it's a little low and away. Why is it a little low and away? Again, not in the quarterback room. I have an idea how they teach this footwork. But for me, when he hits his back foot here, and he goes to throw, and he's got a good base right here, you want to just keep that base tight reset. Tight reset means the small, like a 6-inch hitch back here to get lined up, get all your mojo going, use all your force, your torque to let it rip. You don't want these feet right here where in the black to come together like this and heel click. It's just wasted motion. You lose all the precision tethered to your movement, your timing, your sequencing. It gets out of whack. It's just more moving parts, harder to be consistent. So let's watch his footwork. Get to the back. Perfect base right there. Tight hitch, tight reset, let it rip up top, outside the numbers. Instead, heels come together, heel click, and we still get it out with anticipation. You can see the anticipation. The guy's not out of the break up top, and we're throwing it. That's great. Love it. I love it. I think we can clean up just the base of that footwork to be able to get it out earlier and be more consistent with the ball location, the ball flight. But still, see, it can be two things at once. It can be good, and there can be things that we can polish up. You can also see just kind of, he brings himself to the trouble, right? The ball's on the hash. He brings himself to getting hit like in the B gap. And again, I think that comes with the little mini crow hop heel click. Just stay in the middle of the pocket, keep your great base. Next one here. A little speed out to the field. Again, pushing the ball outside the numbers. Now, again, this is half shot at the system, half shot at the footwork here. To me, most oftentimes, this type of rolled speed out at the bottom of the screen, where it's not like a square out, it's a rolled speed out. In most systems, you're going to throw this from under center, 5 no hitch. From gun, you're either going to throw it 3 no hitch or like a shuffle hybrid. And I really used to have to talk my coaches into letting me do that. But very rarely are you going to take 3 hitch and throw it because you're going to be late. And what does late mean? Late means catching it on the sideline for an 8-yard gain. So, is this on him? Is this on the footwork? Is this on the system? I would lean towards the system. But again, watch the footwork. 1, 2, 3. There's that reset. 1, 2, 3, hitch, reset. Now we're late and the ball's on the sideline for a catch and out of bounds. So I love the fact that he's pushing the ball outside the numbers, throwing with anticipation. You can see he's throwing that thing before guy gets out of the break. But, you know, again, not certified, shots included in this video. More precise, give our guy a shot, a little bit a better opportunity to catch, make something happen on the sideline. But quarterback-wise, throwing outside the numbers, that's a pro throw. You're going to be asked to do that on Sundays. Certainly got that in the catalog. Halftime, you dig the channel and you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the bell, get the notifications. It lets you know when we go live, when we put out new content. I certainly appreciate the support for the channel. Then we've got a bunch of additional quarterback school content. All of it can be found in the description to this video. A bunch of free stuff. Get over there and make sure you take the free quick game course. All sorts of other tools, quarterback school Patreon community, courses. If you are interested, check it out. I appreciate it. As for this one, let's keep it going. Next one here, this is a beautiful 4 vertical variation. This really shouldn't be there. This throws open. This is great scheme. Again, acknowledge scheme when I see it. This is outstanding. Throwing the seam to the guy out of the backfield, beating what should almost never get beat with 4 verticals, and that is quarters. So to me, you know, playing quarterback, little tricks of the trade, y'all. If you see quarters, so this type of 4 deep here, and this is not 0 to me, this is 4 deep. 0 would be more like birds on a fence. Everybody's up on the same line. These guys are creeping. Okay, you got feeling pressured. This feels like quarters. Okay, this drop 8 quarters. So what is quarters trying to do at its core? To me, in the passing game, it's trying to take away 4 verticals. So any iteration, the normal iteration of 4 verticals here would just be 2 by 2. Right? You see this, and I'm telling you right now, quarterback hack. Just throw the damn check down. It might as well be a screen. Okay, I'm throwing the check down. Now, how they get there is a little bit different, and that allows them to have an opportunity here. But we'll go 4 vertical here. This turns into what most people in the West Coast world call the special route, which is the number 3 vertical there. And then we're getting to the seam from the backfield. So what does that do? First, you get a little, you know, fake jet fly action here with that. But because we're getting to the seam area, to the field from the backfield, it takes a little bit more time to develop. So you don't get this kind of top, whatever cap threat here. So that's the first part about it. The other part about it is just the timing of this throw. He lets this thing go, guys, barely at the second level to make this kind of window, because normally you would think if you just draw up, you know, just draw up the spacing of 4 verticals here, seam, seam, go, and they're in quarters. Well, shoot, they got every vertical carried easy on top of it. That's not what we want. But they manipulate it by the design of the play, the offensive structure, outstanding, and the quarterback throw, outstanding. So watch the back in the backfield. See when he lets this thing go? I mean, he's throwing it before he's past the second level of defense. Pretty rare to get a seam thrown like that. Check his base out, y'all. This is what it's supposed to look like. So you know he can do it. That's perfect. If anything, his back foot is moving around all over the place. That's great design on the principles of 4 verticals. Even though the guys fall out or don't run goes, that's the principle of 4 verticals. That's a great throw, great scheme, outstanding execution. Love to see it. Just really nice. And I always think seams are one of the easy transferable throws to the league. You know, watching a bunch of young guys come into the league in person, anecdotally, I always felt like guys picked up and were able to rip seams early. Here's a big one. A little touchdown up top, fake screen. Again, great design. You know, this is not necessarily on quarterback play. That's wide ass open. But if we're going to throw touchdowns, we'll put it on here, see exactly how they did it. You know, so acknowledge the fact that these perimeter screens, this is great offensive architecture with the formation. We got a 0 by 4. We fake the now tunnel, whatever perimeter screen you want to call. Again, 0 by 4. There's no eligibles down here to the bottom. That's a tight end covered up top on the little Shamrock logo. One of the DBs up top loses his mind. And that's how you walk into the end zone. Nice throw, though. Got to throw it. Sometimes those are the hardest throws. Wide open ones. But again, certainly got the arm strength to be able to rip it outside the numbers down the field. That's a wide throw, wider than you'll ever get in the league with the college wide hashes. But then there are plays like this. Okay, so this is a bad pick. It's just a bad pick, straight up. It's a bad pick. They got a chance to really win this game. knock off a decent Notre Dame team, but it's not working here. And so what happened pick-wise here? There's a lot going on this play. This is one back power, RPOs, it looks like to both sides. So what does that mean? Again, first let me acknowledge I'm not in the room, okay? So I don't know exactly what the details of it are. We're gonna run what looks like a locked hitch here. I'm gonna guess that this is an inside fade, supposed to be an inside fade, and we're gonna get like a little pop glance up top. And the guy who ends up making the play is right here. So let's talk just this to start, okay? And then we'll get into the RPO element of it. I don't have a problem with a guy taking an inside release on an inside fade, except you got to work for width and take advantage of what this space is. Essentially, it's like an inverted smash with the locked hitch. You're still working the same space, just more down the field. But if you're going to go inside here and then kind of like keep it a seam, like that's not going to work. Like we're not, first of all, taking advantage of the correct spacing of it. And for the RPO, where we are reading, I'm going to guess this conflict defender right here, when he inserts into the run, this seam fade, ball, that's not taking advantage of that space. Normally, for this type of, if you're going to read this player on any type of RPO, normally you would be working this inside glance or slant to take advantage of that guy vacating the space, right? He's going to fill this. Well, let's take advantage of that. And if it's not there, let's run it with like a hitch, a seam, a fin, a 5-yard in, whatever. All right. I love throwing inside fades. I think they've got a great space in the normal game today. Guys are comfortable throwing them, usually really safe. If you're going to run inside fade or seam here, the other thing I would add, just being critical of the design here, instead of running locked hitch, let's run like a slow slant. So versus zone, you can run a hitch. Versus man, this is obviously man, right? I mean, easy to see man. Let's run a slant, like a slow come off and then under control like a rub slant. Again, to take advantage of this guy vacating that space. But to me, this just looks like a little bit too much on the quarterback, on the design, with this little glance pop up here, inside fade that looks like it's turned into a seam, and a locked hitch for no one. So it's tough. So first thing here, let's just watch this right here so you can see who we're reading, because we're running one back power, 5 offensive linemen, and the sniffer. That's going to take care of 6 in the box, right? So we've got to account for these two, the +1 to both sides. Who's going to insert into the run? So let's watch the one down here at the bottom hash, the DB type. He inserts into the run. See how it would be great to have a slant or glance right behind him? Now you get that route up top, but he's not working up top. His eyes are down here. So then he goes to throw this thing. And what is the receiver doing? The receiver's not looking for like a bang seam or glance. He's almost looking like he's trying to work for that inside fade. Howell throws like a seam tweener, and it hits the damn safety in the chest. Now I know everybody loves this guy, but that's a gift of a pick. And I just think it's a poorly designed play. It's a worse executed play from the quarterback position. Don't make a bad play a disaster. What I like to tell quarterbacks. So again, just watching the one back power here. Reading the DB type to the left. He inserts into the run. You can see the pop pass to the right, right? Just imagine if we had that same route on the left. See how it would be there. But instead, we're throwing like a tweener seam. Now maybe I thought the ball got tipped or hit. His arm gets hit. I don't think so though. I think it's just a combination of this is the output. Poor design, worse execution, bad pick late in the game that they really gotten a chance to win. Just a massive turnover. So now it's borderline getting out of reach. This is just a great job of Howell bringing him back into the game, using his legs to scramble. He can certainly run. He really can. I think he's a pretty thick dude that moves around pretty well. And this is a pretty special run. And this is not a short run. He's splitting people, setting runs up, getting in the end zone. Really nice. And this pops and shows a lot on his film when he's healthy and they're rolling. So nothing there. I mean, should he score right here? I mean, that's pretty impressive. Great job keeping his feet, running through some tackles. Certainly an athlete enough to be able to do this. I wouldn't necessarily, call him a running quarterback by any means, but I think you can call run plays. He probably do it at in the red area, like the evolution of the position is calling for. But these types of athletic plays pop on film, and there are a number of them. I think it's just an added element of what he brings to the table to be able to create out of sequence, out of pocket, not necessarily to just make throws outside the pocket, but to also get out, use his feet, and go find the end zone. So that is a wrap. Sam Howell, part 6. Lots to like. Probably going to see more of him really soon on this channel just because I'm intrigued, want to see more. There are a lot of splash throws that I really like, a lot of fun scheme stuff too, and then just some pure head scratchers as he's about to get back into that game with a really rough pick. So looking to see more, want to see more. Let me know who else you want to see more of as we get closer and closer to the draft. Fired up to see where all these guys land. Certainly appreciate you hanging to the end. I will see you next time. Have a good one.